Welcome to the webinar. You have entered as an attendee in listen-only mode.
All the services which are using to create the application infra are inside a single region. Then whatever data communication will be there, that will be data outbound will be of no charge. But infra in multiple region, for that you will be charged. Apart from that, whatever data you're going to send to the customer, the outbound data you are going to be charged. So incoming is free and outgoing is chargeable with some exceptions. And exceptions we know, if everything is under the same region, all the services inside the same region, no charging for intercommunication. But when the services are in different region, then there will be charges for the communication between the AWS services, which is used for creating the whole AWS application infra. Okay, so I think I've covered all the questions which were required. Okay, guys, so let's start with today's topic. So till yesterday, I've told you, what is AWS free tier account, and I've also showed you showed you a YouTube video that how to create your AWS account. So you can create the account, but please don't use it now because everything you can complete on the canvas. And I believe you guys would have got the canvas access. Yes or no? Have you got the canvas access? Oh, not yet. Okay, no problem. Okay, somebody have got, some have not. Okay, so you can do one thing. Just try to. I think they would have created one group for you. Just ping in that group and ask them to get the access, because maybe after 2 or 3 classes you're going to have the first lab. So try to get the access in these 2 or 3 days. After that, because we are going to start with the labs after 2 or 3 days. Okay. I think you will get, Ashmita, once you will get the access, you will get an email. Okay, you will get an email on your registered email ID. From there, you can create that Canvas account. Okay. Okay, whoever is a representative, whoever is a student, there would be some student relationship team would be there at Ethnus. So you can connect with them. Okay. And just ask them to give you the Canvas access. Okay, guys. Okay, so please get the access in a couple of days. So let's start with today's class now. So services with no charges. So, in AWS, they are not charging you for everything. Like suppose you are creating, you will be charged for some services, but there will be few services which will be free of use. So for example, there's AWS GPC, that is virtual private cloud. Then Elastic Beanstalk is free to use. Auto scaling feature is free to use. AWS Cloud Formation is free to use. AWS Cloud Formation, let me just tell you a little bit, because I think all other free services Cloud Formation, I'm going to just give you a little overview. Cloud Formation is an infra as a code service where you can write the code in the form of XML or YAML format. These are the scripting language. These are the how to create this Cloud Formation templates. You can use this YAML or XML language to create the to create the Cloud Formation templates. Inside that, you're going to write the infrastructure code. So once you will run those templates, all the servers, all the database, everything, whatever you will define in that particular template will be created automatically. It is just like a Terraform. Who are working in IT industry and they would be knowing about Terraform or Cloud Formation, but who don't know, then it is just an infra as a code where you can whatever we are going to create, we are going to be first creating by a manual effort. I'm going to log into AWS Management Console. We are going to create the servers, VPC, auto scaling. But as our subject, as our course will grow, then we will come to a point where we are going to automate everything using the Cloud Formation. It is used for automation purpose. Okay, so till this time, you should just know what is Cloud Formation. We are going to discuss in details once I'm going to reach out to this topic. After that, there is AWS IAM. So IAM is a security, like service. So it is also free. So all these services are free. But what happens when you're creating VPC? Inside VPC, you're going to define multiple resources, like like your web servers, your database servers. So for that, you're going to be charged. Inside the Elastic Beanstalk, for creating the Elastic Beanstalk, like environment, that platform, on the top of that, developers going to deploy the code. So that platform, which is created with type of Elastic Beanstalk, is free. But once you deploy the code, it is automatically going to create the infra, database server, load balancer, auto scaling, web server. So that is chargeable. Like auto scaling feature is free. But auto scaling, how you are going to use the auto scaling with your services? The service will be your EC2 service or some other services. Suppose if you are using the auto scaling with your EC2, that is your compute service, which is used to create the virtual server. So for virtual server, you will be charged per hour. But for auto scaling, there are no charges. So whatever like servers you are going to create with the help of auto scaling feature, you will be charged for that particular server, not for using this auto scaling service. Like cloud formation, writing cloud formation template, creating the stacks, everything is free. But whatever resources you are going to create from cloud formation, for example, suppose you have created one web server, but when EC2 machine you have created, now you will be charged for that EC2 machine. Okay, so that's all. These services are free, but these services are linked with other services. So for that you will be charged. Okay. So yeah, they are charging you for few services, but few services are of no charges. They have mentioned few over here, and apart from that, there are few more, but the major ones are already mentioned on your screen. Okay. So the main point of that slide was just to tell you that there are few services which are free to use, but services are interrelated. So whatever things you're going to create based on that services, you will be charged for that. Okay. So let's take the key takeaways of this particular section of the course. So there are no charges for inbound data transfer. We know we have discussed data transfer between services within the same AWS region. Okay. So suppose if you're using a like outbound charge. Okay. This data outbound. Like when you're sending a data outside from your application. That time, if all the resources are in the same region, then you will be not charged. If resources are in different region, then you will be charged. That is for data outbound. This line is for data outbound, guys. Now pay for what you will. That is the basic funda of like I would say that is a basic funda of cloud computing. Whether you're using AWS, Microsoft, any cloud like any cloud platform, you're going to see the same way that whatever you're going to use as a part of creating the services, as a part of creating the AWS or Microsoft infrastructure, the application infrastructure, you will be paid for like using that particular service only. You will be charged for using that particular service for a specific period of time. Okay. Start and stop anytime. Like like it is very flexible to use. You can use AWS, like anytime, and you can and it is very easy to start any service, to stop any service. No long-term contracts are required. Definitely, if you want to, apart from reserving instances, when you're reserving something, for that only you have to sign a contract with AWS so that you can reserve some instances to save some cost for you use number of machines. Tomorrow you can delete those machines. You will be charged only for one day. That's it. Some services are free, but the other services, AWS services, that they provision might not be free. The same thing which I was explaining you in the last slide, that some services were free. VPC is free, Elastic Beanstalk is free. Apart from that, multiple services are free, like auto scaling, cloud formation, etc., etc. But these services are provisioning some instances, so you're going to be charged for that particular instances, like EC2, like database instance, or your, I would say, like web servers. So whatever machines you're going to provision with the help of those services, for that you will be charged, but those services will be free. So if today you're going to create any VPC, just create one VPC and keep it like that. Don't run any server inside that VPC. You won't be charged for anything. But suppose if you are running any server inside that VPC, then definitely you will be charged for that server. not for using VPC. So when you will check your bill, there won't be any charges for using VPC. You will see some charges for using your server, of creating your server and using that server for a particular month or a particular time, like for 1 day, 2 day, whatever time you have run that machine, you will be charged for that. Okay. So I hope these concepts are clear. Now let's move to section 2, where we are going to see what is total cost of ownership. First, let me tell you what is total cost of ownership. So, total cost of ownership includes the purchasing price of the asset plus the amount which you're investing for that asset maintenance over the life cycle of that asset. So let me give you an example first. I think then it will be clear. Let me take an example of a bike. So Prasad has bought one bike, okay, that is costing 1 lakh rupees. Now, so for example, like we have used that bike and the bike life cycle was for 10 years. Let's assume it is for 10 years. So in 10 years, for maintaining that bike, he has invested around 1 lakh. So now what is the total cost of ownership of that asset? What is the asset? Bike is the asset. So the purchasing price was 1 lakh. Now over the life cycle, what was the life cycle of the bike? 10 years. So over the life cycle of that particular bike, how much Prasad has invested in the maintaining of that bike? 1 lakh. So what is the total cost of ownership? 2 lakhs. In the same way, let me give you one more example. Suppose you have bought one laptop. It costs around 50,000 for you. Now, let's see the average, life of any laptop is around 5 years. Okay. So suppose the life cycle of that laptop was 5 years. In 5 years, I've invested around 10,000 rupees. Okay. Suppose my, keys there was some issue with the keys. I have bought one, new keyboard, or I have, went to the service station and they have, taken some charges to fix this issue, any kind of issue. So I have invested around 10,000 for that. Or suppose upgrading my laptop RAM and all. So now what is the total cost of ownership of that laptop? What was the price of that asset, that is laptop? 50,000. What was the cost of maintenance over the life cycle of that particular asset? 10,000. What is the total cost of ownership? 60,000. Okay, so now I think it will be clear. So what I was telling, total cost of ownership includes purchase price of an asset plus the cost of operation or maintenance of that asset over the life cycle, over the lifetime of that particular asset. Okay, so now I think it would be more clear. So if you will relate with that two examples, you will get the meaning of total cost of ownership. Now let's check out. So let's check out the total cost of ownership between on-premises versus cloud. So let's check out the traditional infra. So inside the traditional infra, there will be a lot of total cost of ownership, because inside your traditional infra or on-premises infra, you're going to create your own data center. For that, first of all, you have to buy some land or rent out some land. Then you have to build the data center. You have to bring all the equipments like your load balancer, web server, database servers, storage, routers, SAM, different kind of stuff are required. And you're going to and then you need some people. You need some hardware engineer, the data center engineer, which are going to assemble that particular hardware. And you need some people, okay, who have to take care of the security of the data center. So all those resources and admins unit. Then multiple contracts will be signed between you and vendor. Suppose you have a vendor who is supplying you all these hardware. So multiple contracts you have to sign with them. A long-term contract. Suppose you have signed a contract with some company that we are going to buy these hardware from you for another 5 years. So please give us more discount. So that is a part of a contract. And then a lot of cost. So all these things, starting from purchasing the land, creating the data center, and bringing all the people to manage all the hardware, purchasing the hardwares, all these things comes under the tradition. All this comes under your total cost of ownership. Apart from that, you also have to maintain each and every hardware from your own. Suppose after 10 years, your storage needs to be renewed. So there was some issue with the storage, some kind of a storage box was there. One storage was there of 100 GB. That is now not working. That got degraded. Now you have to, first of all, you will try to, repair that. If it is repairable, that is going to add some money. Some engineer will come. It is going to repair that particular storage. Okay, and if it is repaired, fine, then you have to pay some bill. Otherwise, you have to replace that. So all these things comes under your total cost of ownership. So the total cost of ownership when you are using any traditional infrastructure is very high as compared to AWS cloud. Now let's see what is total cost of ownership in AWS cloud. No upfront, no upfront expense. Pay for what you use. So what is the total cost of ownership here? Only we are just paying the bill of a particular of using particular hardware as a like as a software which is provided to us by AWS in the form of different services. Because whatever like servers you are creating, or you are like using any machine things like you are creating as a virtual environment on AWS platform, the hardware exists. The hardware exists somewhere at like in some data center, but they are giving us to use that hardware as a form of software, infrastructure as a software. That was the main difference between traditional and AWS cloud. In traditional, we have to think that we are using infrastructure, we are creating infrastructure as a hardware. But in AWS cloud, we are creating infrastructure as a software. Second thing, AWS cloud will improve time to market and agility definitely. If today I want to create 4 servers, I don't have to order any vendor that please send me 4 servers like that, and then the server will come after 10 days, and then people will start assembling that. After 15 days, I will be able to deploy the application on that server. That is not required. Within few minutes, you can create a new server, you can deploy the application. Scale up and scale down. It is very efficient. You can scale up, like your infra using the automatic scaling. Or suppose if you want to manually scale up, you can create a new infra and you can add it in your you can create a new EC2 machine, you can add it in your existing infra. So it is very simple. It saves a lot of time, and it is very easy to do all these tasks. Apart from that, self-service infrastructure. Definitely, I think yesterday I showed you how that AWS management console looks. It is very user friendly, so you can use that kind of like you can use all these services which are very easy to use, and a lot of documentations are there available on AWS documentations. That's why I have told you that please consider AWS documentation as a priority for yourself, because when you are entering this field, that will help you a lot. Any kind of a doubt, anything, you can refer AWS documentations. So Ashna, yeah, you have missed, like just now we have started. First of all, we have discussed what we have learned yesterday. Then I have taken few questions, and then just now we have started with one new topic, that is total cost of ownership, and I'm just continuing with that topic. Okay, so for you, I'll just just tell you again what is total cost of ownership, Asha. So total cost of ownership is the purchase price of any asset. Let's consider the asset as laptop. Okay, Asha. So that laptop is pricing you around 50K. So that will be your first part of the price. Second part, suppose the life cycle of that particular laptop was 5 years. So in 5 years, you have spent around 10,000 for maintaining that laptop. So now, what is the total cost of ownership of that laptop? It is the addition of both prices. The purchase price of the asset, that is your laptop, and second, the maintenance price of your laptop over those 5 years. That was the life cycle of the laptop. So what is the total cost of ownership? It will be 60,000. I hope you understood what is total cost of ownership. Is it clear, Ajay? Can you just confirm me, yes or no? Okay, cool. Okay, so then after that, okay, we were just talking about how how the differences between when we're using traditional infrastructure, that is on premises, versus AWS cloud, as per in terms of total cost of ownership. So traditional, we have to invest a lot. That's why the total cost of ownership is very high as compared to AWS cloud, which is very low, because we are not owning anything. We are just renting out everything from AWS, creating the machines, terminating the machines if it is of no use. So nothing is owned by us. That's why there's a huge difference when it comes to total cost of ownership between traditional infra and your AWS cloud. Okay, I think now you're on the same level, so you can now you have not missed anything. Okay, so now the same thing, total cost of ownership. I've already told you with multiple examples. Let's read out this particular definition also. So total cost of ownership, that is TCO, is the financial estimate to help identify direct and indirect cost of a system. So if I will tell you, let's take the same example of I would say of your bike or laptop. What was the direct cost? The direct cost was your purchasing of your laptop and maintenance of your laptop. What is the direct cost? Now, what's the indirect cost? For running a laptop, you need electricity. So electricity is the indirect cost because you will get a monthly bill. So if you are running your laptop 5 days a day, like 5 days, 5 hours a day for a month, definitely some part of electricity will be associated with your laptop usage also. Okay, that is your indirect cost. Now you understood what is direct cost? The direct cost is the direct cost of purchasing your laptop or the maintenance of the laptop. And what is the indirect cost here? The bill, which is the electricity bill, which is generated while you're using your laptop. Now let's see why use TCO to compare the cost of running an entire infrastructure or specific workload on premises versus AWS. In the previous slide, I have told you how much difference is there. If you're owing something, definitely you're responsible for that. If you're not owing anything, then you're not responsible for that. You're only using it and you're just paying the monthly bills. That's it. So just to compare between your traditional infra and your AWS, you can use this total cost of ownership. Then you will come to know how much is the difference between on-premises TCO and your AWS total cost of ownership. To budget and build the business case for moving to the cloud, definitely, when you're running any business, money is a great factor. If you are doing any business with a least capital and you make a good profit, that is a very good business. So definitely you also have to create, when you are thinking of moving from on-premises to AWS, definitely you want some kind of a monetary benefit also, that whatever you are investing today as a part of infra, that will be eliminated. So you're going to save a lot of dollars, okay, for yourself, for your clients as well. Okay, so this is the TCO. And let's check out some considerations regarding the TCO. The first one is the server cost. Let's check out if suppose just a minute. Okay. So suppose if I own any data center, I'm running a company. So there are different kind of categories of components I would be requiring inside my data center. So let's see what will be the consideration for TCO if suppose we are using a server. So if I'm buying a server, so if I buy suppose 100 servers, so what will be the direct cost for that server and what will be the indirect cost? So hardware, the server, the rack cases, definitely you are buying 100 machines, you have to put it in some racks. For that you need a hardware, you need some big shelves. Inside that you can put one server. So that is the rack chases. The power distribution unit, definitely each and every server will be plugged with some power socket, with some power distribution unit. And then you like some additions, switches are required. So all those comes at the as a hardware cost. Now what is the software cost? Software cost will be OS virtualization, OS runs inside your servers. You can consider, yes, you can consider you create server with a particular OS, like a Linux server or a Windows server or a Mac OS server. Okay, yeah, you can consider that. Okay, so then what will be the other direct cost? Installing, like you have to suppose you have to if I'm running a data center, I need to purchase a Linux licenses. I have to purchase Windows licenses so that I can I can load those operating systems on the top of those servers to create a Linux server or Windows server or a Mac OS server. And then virtualization, because since if I want to create some virtualization technology, for that also I need some virtualization licenses and all everything. So this will be coming as a this will be coming as your direct cost. Now, what will be the indirect cost, guys? The facility cost. Suppose you have you have rented out that particular space that where you have built the data center. So that will be the facility cost. Then space, the power, a lot of power is required to maintain the data center. A lot of cooling devices are required. So all this will be the indirect cost. Now in the same way, let's consider the storage cost. If suppose you are putting the heavy storage devices, then your storage disk, the SAN cards, the fiber cables, all those hardware which is required for as a part of hardware inside a storage, that will be the hardware cost. Now what will be the other cost? Definitely when you have installed so many huge storage, you need some people who are known as storage administrators who are going to maintain that storage, who are going to use that storage at an optimum level. So that will, so both your hardware and your storage admin cost will be your direct cost. Now, what is the indirect cost? The same thing. Facility cost is space, power, because this storage cost is also inside the same data center. So all the components will be sharing these facility costs, space, power, cooling. These are all additional or indirect cost. Now, network cost. All the network devices line switches, local area network switches, which is used for communicating inside inside your data center, your load balancers, your routers, and different kind of stuff which are required for creating a network. That will be the charge for, that will be that charge for network hardware. And now definitely to maintain this network, to maintain and to this matter, we need few network administrators also. So you're going to hire few network administrators. They're going to create a network so that every machine will be communicating with each other. So you have to pay some fee to them also. So that will be the network administration cost. So both network hardware and network administration cost will be your direct cost. And now what will be your indirect cost? Your facility cost is space. The same thing, because this network components, the network hardware is also the part of the same data center. Now some IT labor cost will be there. Some server administrator will be there. Suppose you are using these servers, some server administrator will be there. Few people will be taking care of the security. That will be other cost. So all this comes as a part of your TCO consideration when you are creating or using a data center. Okay, let me take few questions. Okay, so when we will see that this TCO consideration before building servers? No, how you can see the TCO consideration before building? Suppose if you already have a data center, then only you can see how much bill is generating each month for electricity, how much server you are using. Hypothetically, if you want to assume something, you can take that consideration. You can guess that. Suppose I'm starting I want to plan a data center with this kind of a machine, and you will assume that this machine will take this kind of power. That also you can consider, and you can, with the help of your gas capacity, you can create some TCO. But exact thing you will get once you already have a data center. Okay. Now building rent. Okay, building building price argument. Building price of your this thing. Yeah, space, cooling are coming under indirect cost. Definitely, because these are not direct costs, Shiva. I'll give you an example. Okay, you have purchased a laptop. That will be direct cost of a laptop. And if you're if you're using it for if you're doing some maintenance, that is also direct cost. But suppose if you're plugging it to electricity bill will come for your whole house. Okay, whatever you're using components. So some part will be associated with your laptop. That's a indirect cost. It will be included. That's why. Okay. Okay. So now AWS is providing all the services. Their on-premises is could be business profitable for AWS. Money is asking. Okay, guys, I'm just taking few questions. Okay, which are there. Then we're going to come to the next topic. I have one or two questions pending. So Money is also asking that definitely AWS is far better. In the coming slide, I will show you the difference. Okay, there will be one case study. I will show you how much they are saving. Okay, it is far better as compared to creating our own infra. Definitely it requires a lot of amount in $1 million. Okay, now another, because power also we use for data center. Definitely, Shiva, we use power. Without power, nothing will work. Can can you start your laptop without electricity? No, like that. These are all machines. machines need some power to start to run. Okay, let's. Okay, I'm not sure what is the exact cooling facility because it depends on cooling devices. Shiva, you don't have to go into these details. You're not going to work inside the data center. But cooling will cost a lot. There will be huge cooling fans, okay, which will be installed. First of all, purchasing those fans will be a lot of cost, and then running those fans using electricity will also cost you a lot. It takes a lot of power. Okay. So let me take another last question, guys. First, regarding internet charges in traditional infra, we pay to IS provider in cloud. It is comes under the data. Yeah, Raghavan. It comes under data transfer rate. Yes, correct. You are right. Okay, guys. So I've taken all the questions. Let's get ahead to the difference. Now let's consider this example. Okay. So where on premises versus all in cloud. If suppose there was a infra which was on premises and there's one infra which is built entirely on the AWS cloud platform. So you can see they have they have created one a little bit difference where they're saying that you can save up to 96% yearly by moving your infrastructure to AWS. Suppose if you are investing, suppose 100 rupees somewhere as on premises, then it will only cost you 4 rupees on AWS server. That is the tip. Please mute yourself. I don't want disturbance, guys. Please, requesting you. Okay, so let's take an example. Look at this table. This is 3 years total cost of ownership, the difference between on premises and the cloud. So this is on premises charges. So like inside the AWS, they have considered that they have taken a reserve instances which was partially upfront reserve instances for 3 years, and this data is for 3 years. So look at this. When you are using on premises, you were spending on servers around $91,922 for storage, $67,840 for network, $7,060. And now same thing when you're using on AWS for server, you are only charged $2,547 for storage, $4,963. And look at this. This is the difference. And there will be some network outbound charges which they have not considered, but on an average, you are a lot on AWS. Now look at the difference. The on-premises was costing for 3 years around $167,422. Same thing when you're building on AWS, you will only charge $7,509. Too much huge difference is there. That's why AWS has hit the market. It has multiple services. It is ruling the market right now. Okay. So look at the difference. That's why I was telling you. So much, so many advantages are there of using the cloud platform. Now, nobody's, like in this 21st century, nobody is buying their infra. They are all moving to cloud. People who are already having the traditional infra, they are going for hybrid models where they can use their infra, their traditional infra, as well as they can take advantage of AWS or other cloud computing, public cloud computing services provider. Okay, so look at this. That's why. So if you will see the chart also, look at this. This is the like diagram of your on-premises. This is a bar which is costing us this kind of amount, and this is the amount which is way lesser of creating the same infra as on-premises. When you're creating it on cloud, it is charging you so less. So this is just an example, okay, that you are going to be saving a lot. If you're not telling 90, they have told us up to 96%. So you can save, like based on the infra, you can save 80%, 50%, but you're going to save something. That is a guarantee of AWS because you're not owing anything. Because when you're owing something that costs a lot, you're not owing anything. You're just renting out everything from AWS, using their services to create your infrastructure, and whenever those servers are not required, you can just terminate those servers. That's why you are saving a lot on AWS, guys. Okay. So now there is one tool known as AWS pricing calculator. So this is a calculator which helps you to estimate the monthly cost. So for example, suppose let me give you an example before discussing all these points. For example, suppose Prasad got one task. So Prasad is working as a cloud engineer. And he got one task that one new client is going to wants to move the infra from their on-premises to AWS. But before going, like moving the infra, they want some details like how much, like they've given some specific requirement that what all, services, or I would say what all components they need to support their application. Suppose they need two web servers, two database, okay, and that please give me the estimate. What will be the estimate of using these services for a year, so that we can send this estimate to the client, and based on that, client can compare whether moving to AWS is really saving a lot for him, or what's the difference when he's using the same infra on its own infrastructure, and now when he's trying to move to cloud and deploying the application on the same infra, how much it is costing, the difference. So that's why we use AWS pricing calculator. From here, you can calculate the infra of your, like calculate the cost of your infra. Whatever services you're going to use, you can calculate from here, and it will give you a roughly estimation, which will be, like it will be more or less, it will be same. It will be same because this calculator is created by AWS, so they know what are the per hour charges, or what are the charges of each and every service, like storage services. So what are the different charges in each region that is already being feed inside this calculator. So it is going to give you, more or less exact, what do you say, detail. So that detail, with the help of that detail, you can project that this amount you are going to invest in your infra. So that's why it is very, very helpful to get you the pre-estimation. Till now, if you are not created anything, you just need the estimation. How much AWS is going to cost you for creating this infra, which contains these all hardware. Why I'm telling hardware? Because I'm going to compare it with the on-premises. That's why. So with the help of pricing calculator, you can provide those details to your clients, or you can calculate it for your company as well. Now let's check out. I hope you understood what is pricing calculator. Now let's check out these points. Estimate monthly cost, definitely. So once you are going to create an estimate, you can see monthly cost. You can also see the yearly cost. Identify the opportunities to reduce monthly cost. Definitely. What happens? First use case I told you. You can create an estimate. Second thing, what you can do, it also helps you to reduce the monthly cost. Suppose currently so now what you can do, before making changes on your current infra, you can use this calculator and you can try to do some manipulation. You just change some services, change some machine types from higher to lower, and then check out the possibility how you can reduce the monthly cost. It also helps you for cost optimization. To reduce the cost of infrastructure is known as cost optimization. Okay, so it also helps you to reduce the monthly cost. Third, model your solution before building them. Definitely. Till now, I am just modeling. I got the requirement from a client that these all infra I need on AWS. Based on that, I have choose the services and I have created one estimation. I have created one solution. And till now, I have not built it. I have just created a solution that this will be the amount you're going to invest per year or per month. And with explore price points and calculations behind the estimate, definitely you can explore multiple price points. Like whenever you are moving from one region to another region. Region, I've told you what is region. Region is a geographical area where Amazon has created their data centers and divided into multiple regions. So we have multiple regions, around 22 regions are there, which they have created as an AWS region across the globe. So when you're moving from one region to another region, suppose you're moving from like Asia, Mumbai region. Mumbai is one of the region. From Mumbai to US region, North Virginia. Then the prices of each services will be different. That's why you can explore the price point also. What are the difference between the services which you want to use on US or in Mumbai region, and based on that you can make the calculations also like that. And apart from that, you can also check out the prices of different like instance type also. For example, you're creating an EC2 machine, which is, I would say, like of higher configuration, maybe like 12 BPCU, 32 GB of memory. So that will cost a lot. That will cost higher. Now suppose if you want to check the cost of lower machines, you can just change the value. Change the value of BPCU to 4, change the value of memory to 2 GB. Then you will see the price of that smaller instance. So based on that, you can make all the manipulations, and then you can bring out the cost of your enter infrastructure. Find the available instance type and contract them that meet your demand. Definitely, there is an option. You also have an option. Like suppose if you want to use that particular infra as a part of contract, like reserve instances or savings plan, then you can use that option and you will get the estimate according to that. If you want to use it as an on demand, then you will get the estimate according to that. You will see all kind of pricing differences. Don't worry if something you're not able to connect. We are going to use this pricing calculator now, and then all your doubts will be cleared, guys. Name your estimate and create a name group of services. After that, once you have created your added all the services in your infra, then you can just group them inside a particular service group, and you can provide a name to the services group, and that will be the name of your services, which is a part of a single group. So tomorrow if you want to open that group, you don't have to then you can save that group, and and then you can share that group also. Suppose you have created one estimate, and you have saved that estimate as service group 01, that you can also share it with your teammates, your management, with your client, so that they can also check. Okay, so now let's access the AWS pricing calculator, guys. Let me just provide you this URL because you guys don't have the canvas access, so let me just put it here. Okay, what do you mean by instance? Okay, Shiva instance means your server instance machine. All are same thing with different abbreviation. If I'm telling you EC2 instance, EC2 machine, EC2 server, all are same. Okay. Okay, somebody is also asking if Mumbai server means calculation done by INR or dollar. No, you will get in actually, if whether you are in Europe or you are in India, Mumbai or anywhere, you will get the estimations in dollar only. Then you can convert as per your whether you are in India or whether you're using pound, but everything will be in a standard format that will be a dollar. Okay. Let me put this URL, guys, first, then we're going to So this is the inside the chat. I have put you that calculator URL. You can use it as a part. Once I will give you one homework regarding this activity, you can use this URL to access the calculator, or you can just type AWS calculator. It is going to take you that particular thing. Definitely money. All business runs in dollar. And when you're working in IT industry, all the transactions are done with dollar only. If until and unless you are having a startup which is only based up in India, then your transaction will be in rupees. But if you're working in any global company, the medium of transactions are dollar only. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's check out. So look at this. We are currently on the pricing calculator. This is the homepage of pricing calculator. Actually, we are going to create the estimates. So we have an option to create an estimate. So just click on create estimate. Okay, so let's create an estimate for one EC2 machine. So look at this. Around 143 services are there, which are the part of AWS. Almost all the services are here. So these are all the services, guys. So let's check out service that is EC2. You can search the service here. Look at this. EC2 has came. Now just click on configure. Okay, you can just provide a description of your estimate, estimate for XYZ client. You can mention like that. Now this is the region. I was telling you why they mentioned the region. I've given the reason. When you are moving from one region to another, the cost of each AWS service is going to change. That's why. So let's do one thing. Let's change the region to North Virginia, inside the US only. This is North Virginia. Let's change it to North Virginia. Okay, now let's select this quick estimate. So now EC2 instance specification. So we are going to add a configuration of one EC2 server. Okay, that is of Linux type, and then we are going to see how much it is costing us per month and per year. Okay, so let's consider. Suppose these are the operating system. So these are different operating systems which are supported. Okay, so let's consider. Let's use this Linux. So don't worry about OS and all. When we will go to EC2, I'm going to show you all this stuff. Here you just understand what is AWS, how to use the AWS pricing calculator. That's it. And once you will be introduced to each and every service, then you'll be able to connect with this calculator pretty much easily. Okay, now look at this. Either you can set the instance by the name, or you can just provide a requirement. Suppose I got a requirement. I need to create a Linux machine with 2 vPCU and 1 GB of RAM. Very, very basic Linux machine. Now look at this. Based on that, it has given us one instance type. This is the name of instance type. I'm going to explain you how you can identify this, but don't ask me now. I'm going to explain you in the compute section. Okay. So this is one of the instance type, guys. So look at this. Based on my requirement that I got a client requirement that I want to create an estimate of a Linux machine where the number of CPU we are going to use is 2, that is 2 cores, and then the memory of a server will be of 1 GB only. So based on that, it has given you an option T4G.micro, which is having 2 GB of VPC and 1 GB of RAM. Now let's come down. Let's see. We need only one server. Utilization will be 100%. We are going to run this machine 100% throughout the month. It won't be down because we are going to run a production server. We are going to run an application on this particular machine. Let's consider this. Now look at this. If suppose I'm using a EC2 instance savings plan, or I would say let's see standard reserve instances I am using, and where I reserve the instances from for 1 year. I told you minimum is 1 year, maximum is 3 years, and I'm not paying anything on upfront. Let's see what is the calculation of this particular EC2 machine. It is going to cost me 3.87 USD per month. So that's only around close to $4 per month for running an application on a single server. Now let's see. Now let me tell you. Suppose I told you that reserve instances are costing lesser as compared to on demand. Now let's see. Suppose I am changing it to on demand. Now look at this. It is almost double, guys. 6.13. Okay. So let's consider we are using on demand instance. We are not going to reserve it for. So this is the price of the instance. Now we also need one storage where we can install the operating system. So let's add the configuration of the storage also. So these are different kind of storage. We are going to learn each and everything in the storage part. So let's consider this general purpose type only. This is the SSD storage, SSD. There are two kind of storage, guys, HDD and SSD. I think all the laptops, if you have bought the laptop, you know the term what is hard disk drive and what is SSDs. Okay, and these days we are getting the combination of SSD and SSD. I'm going to explain this in the storage section. So let's consider this, that we want to attach a storage of suppose 20 GB and consider it as SSD. Okay, that is a fast storage. Let's check out what is the costing of this EBS. It's going to cost us $2 per month. Now let's check out the total cost of this particular instance. If you scroll down, this is estimate cost. So this will be the cost of your EC2 machine, and then you also need one storage to install your operating system. That will be your storage, and the total cost is coming 8.13 USD. USD is your dollar. Now click on add to estimate. Now look at this. I've told you it will show you your monthly and yearly cost. So monthly it was 8.13. If you multiply by 12, it will come around $97.56 per year you're going to spend on this machine to run your application. Now I've told you, suppose let's add one more service. Let's add one more service. Okay, let's add one more machine. Okay, let's see to machine configure. Now let's add one Windows machine, guys. Okay, so you can choose Windows server from here, and let's consider the VPCU as 4 VPCU and the memory is 8 GB. Now look at this. Currently with this configuration, it is showing us this instance type. Once I will change the configuration, it is going to change and it is going to show you the relevant instance type. Let me change to 8. Okay, wait for changing. Okay, just a minute, guys. Let me change it to 2. Now look at this. 3a.large, which is having 2 VPC and 8 GB of memory. So you have multiple instance type with multiple configurations of VPC and memory different. Okay, so now this is selected. Now let's come back and let's see. Let's consider quantity as 1. Utilization will be 100%. And here let's use it. So currently let's use it for your standard reserve instances. And this will be the cost. 54.53. Windows servers are little bit expensive as compared to Linux guys. I suppose if you will use it for on demand, look at it, it's coming around $21 extra per month. So let's use it for reserve instances for 1 year with no upfront cost. If suppose I am paying all upfront, then look at this. It is costing, this is the cost of the whole year, which is very, very less. Let's put it as no upfront and come down. Let's add a storage. Let's select another storage. Suppose, SDD. Let's add one SDD of 10 GB here. Let's check out the storage calculation. It is only costing $0.5 per month, and this is your total cost. If 54.9 is the total cost of a monthly cost of this particular machine, let's click on add to estimate. Now look at this. So it has added this monthly and then it has provided the yearly cost. Now let's put it under a group. Now how you can put it under a group? So first you have to create a group. Let's put it my service, or I would say XYZ services. Let's click on create group. Now you can add these services inside the group also. So just select your services, estimate services, click on move to, select the group. Click on move. This group, okay, this group of services with your client as well. Okay, so this was about your, how to create, estimate. So I'm going to give you one activity to do at your home. So you will have some hands-on. Okay, somebody is asking what is EC2? Nitin Kumar. So EC2 is an elastic compute cloud. So I've already told you about this. Okay, this is a part of compute family, compute service catalog. It is used to create the virtual servers. We have not yet entered to this topic. This will be the part of compute. Okay. So till now, you should only have to know about this, that EC2 is used to create the virtual machines. Once we reach out to this topic, I'm going to explain you in details. Okay, Nathan? Okay, guys, let me just give you one homework. Okay. So this is the problem statement which I created. Will we learn these practical also? Yeah, you will learn the practical. You will have the labs. You will have the labs of these services, okay? You will learn in those practical, don't worry. How to create EC2 machine, how to create the network, how to use auto balancing, load balancing, everything you will learn. Okay. So let me give you one homework, guys. Please copy this from the chat. Okay. Don't consider the last two lines. That is 3008 MB and AWS account video. That is a video which I showed you yesterday, guys. Okay, so consider this backup storage. That is a problem statement. If you want, I can just send you the problem statement again. You can copy that one. Don't copy the last two lines. That is not required. Okay, I'm just sending you the problem statement again. Okay, just copy the second one. Okay. So, why are you not able to copy? Guys, are you facing an issue to copy this? You have to go under the chat, Ganjana, and I think you can copy. Just select it and right click and copy. Not able to copy. Okay. Check out why you're not able to copy. Just a minute. No, you can copy. We are able to copy, yeah. You can copy. It's not an issue because I have already sent this file to each and every one of you. How you can copy? Look at this. Just a minute. Let me try to copy. Suppose if I'm just okay. Question. Yeah. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll do one thing. Don't worry. Okay, who are able to copy, then it is good. If you're not able to copy, I'm going to put this, give this, this problem statement to, Ethnus guys. They're going to send it through email or they're going to post it on your group. Okay, because I'm not sure because why you're not able to copy. People used to copy without any issues. Link also, Smita, I've already provided in the chat only. You can get it from there. Okay, so if you're not able to copy, don't worry. You will get it through Ethnus. Okay. So let me just explain you what is this AWS stack, what you have to do. So you have to calculate the pricing of this particular stack, guys, which contains two instances. One is a Linux machine with this configuration, other one is a Windows machine with this configuration, and there is one, database, Amazon RDS for MySQL flavor that you have to create. Put it under a single service group, and tomorrow just give me the monthly and the yearly amount that we are going to match. I'm going to perform this tomorrow. Please try your hands. It will give you a little bit, hands-on on your AWS calculator, guys. Okay. 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 Let me just. Okay. So let me see if any other questions. I didn't create it. No, you don't have to create. No, no, no. For using AWS pricing calculator, you don't have to create the account. One thing, simply just like use it. Okay, you don't have to like create any account and all for that. Okay, you can simply just use the URL and you can use it. I'll do one thing. I just put it in the handouts also. Okay, let me try to put this file in the handouts. You can try to download from there also. Okay, so we'll go for a break. In meanwhile, I'll just put this file over here in the handouts. You can try to take this file. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's take a break, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. By the time I'll just put this file inside the handout. Okay. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's start with the topics. I hope you guys are back. There's a question. Okay. Okay, so let's close this. No, actually, file. I tried to share the file, but some support, like it is not. The format is not supported. That's why it is not going. No problem. You will get this. Okay, you will get this problem statement through Ethnus. Okay, you can get it from there. But I'm not sure why not able to. Like this is the first time I'm hearing. You guys are not able to copy it from the chat. Okay. Okay, let's check out. So this was kind of estimate which we have created. Okay, same thing when we have checked out our details. We have also seen it was showing the 12-month details. It was also showing the monthly, costing also. Same kind of estimate we have already seen. So you have to complete this activity. You will get some hands-on on AWS pricing calculator. Okay. So now let's check out one case study of total cost of ownership of one of the company known as Day4 North, which is a growing global company with over 200 locations. It is a global company with 500 million customers and $3 billion annual revenue, which is very good. So we're going to see how AWS has benefited this company. So like Delaware North wants to migrate to from their on-premises to cloud. So they came to AWS and they came up with some like challenges that these were the challenges like whatever solution AWS is providing that should meet the demand to rapidly deploy new solution. That was the challenge. So with their current infra, they were not able to rapidly deploy new solution. So for example, in their company, if suppose they want to deploy some new solution for the customer, they were not able to do it rapidly because they were using traditional infrastructure. For that, they need hardware. So it was not a smooth it was not a smooth or agile or I would say speedy process. That's why this was one of the challenge they were facing inside their infra, inside their traditional infrastructure, that they were not able to do the rapid deployments of new solutions. Secondly, constantly upgrading aging equipment. If suppose you are owning your infra, you are owning your traditional infra, that means you have to take the responsibility of each and every component. So over the period of year, some of the other components, some of the other hardware like server storage gets aged and they have to replace or they have to upgrade those components. That was also one of the challenge they had in their on-premises infra. Okay, and few criteria also they have mentioned which they wanted from AWS cloud computing platform. So first of all, they want a broad solution to handle all workload. So whatever like a solution they're going to implement, like the application, since they are a global company which is existing in 200 location, having a huge 500 million customer and a huge 3 billion revenue. So that is what they are telling, that whatever application, the huge application they are going to deploy on your AWS servers, whether you have that much capable servers that can handle those kind of solutions for all the workloads, and then ability to modify processes to improve efficiency and lower cost. Definitely the processes should be very smooth so that it will be less costly. The processes should be efficient and it will cost less as compared to the on-premises. The pricing of creating the infrastructure should come less as compared to on-premises. Third, eliminates busy hours such as patching software. They don't want their team to engage in overhead tasks like patching software. Like patching means, like I will give you an example. Who are It is a very easy task, and who are you are using a Windows machine. I think maximum of you are using a Windows machine or Mac OS. So each time you get some Windows software update, Windows update, you get OS updates, you get Mac OS updates. You have to install those updates. Then you have to restart your machine. That is known as patching software, so that they will be up to the date. So let me take an example of mobile also, guys. Mobile, if you're using Android or like this Apple OS mobile, there also we will get regular updates. You have to download the updates. You have to install the updates. the machine. That's the meaning of patching software. You are you're only using the hardware services in the form of software. So you can use those software services to create the infra. Definitely the costing will be very low and you will have some positive return on investment. Return on investment means like whatever you are investing in your business, you're getting a profit straight away. Return on investment. Okay, whatever returns you are getting. So they want some positive ROI also. So these were the criteria. So AWS has accepted all the challenges and all the criteria, and they have provided all the solution. And the solution, Delaware not liked, and they started migrating the servers. So they have moved their on-premises data center to AWS. They have moved their almost 205 servers, almost 90% of the servers they have moved to AWS, and they have also moved entirely all the applications to AWS. And the 10% of servers they have only put it for their office work, so that they can connect to the printers, they can use it for office work only. So they have moved almost all the servers, all the applications to to AWS. And there, since Dell Note was already running their application from longer period of time, they already have the custom base. So they choose a reserve instances plan where they have choose 3 years Amazon EC2 reserve instance plan, which they're going to resubscribe in future after 3 years. So this is what they have done. And once they have applied all the solutions, this is the 5 year summary cash flow views. This is how much money they have saved over the 5 years. So all these black bars were the bars for your on-premises infra. So this was the costing for on-premises, and this was the costing. The orange one is the costing for AWS. So suppose let's take from 2015 to 2019. We are just trying to differentiate the amount invested on premises, and when they moved to cloud, what was the amount difference. And here they have mentioned that AWS they were using 3 years RI plus renewal of 3 years RI reserve instances they are using. Okay, so their infra is purely on reserve instances. So look at this, it is almost touching $2,000 for the first year, and here it is touching somewhere near to $20,000 or $30,000. Lot of differences there. Each year you can see the on-premises bar is only high, and you can see lot of dips are there inside your AWS when you're creating infrastructure using the AWS. So you can see a lot of price differences there when it comes to price. They were heavily investing on the infra side when they were using on-premises, but then when they moved all their 205 servers and their applications to AWS, and you can see the price difference of 5 years. That's why it is saving a lot of money and a lot of time. That is the two important factors of running any business: time and money. Okay. Now some more results. Okay, of this case study. The resource optimization, robust security compliance. They got a very good security compliance on AWS as well. What they were expecting. Enhanced disaster recovery. Disaster recovery. I will tell you what is disaster recovery. Disaster recovery means, suppose some disaster came. I can tell you the disaster means some natural disaster came. Okay, so if suppose a disaster came and your your hardware, the data center is in that area only where disaster came, then how you can how you can manage with that disaster. If suppose the disaster has hit some area where your data center was there, then how you can quickly recover from that disaster. For example, your application was running like your application was running throughout the globe, and the data center was in US. Some hurricane came into that area. Okay, and hurricane came into that area, and because of that, that data center got disturbed. All the powering and all got shuttered out. So there is no power. The components got there was some issue with the components also. They also got destroyed and all. So now, if this scenario will come, then how quickly you're going to recover, because your applications are running on that infra. That means if your hardware is down, your application is automatically down. Definitely, if suppose you're running some video game on your laptop, if your laptop is down, if your laptop is like bust out, then definitely you're not able to use that particular, you are not able to play that game. The same way, you're not able to use that application. So, in this scenario, how quickly you can recover from that disaster? So this is a module. Our whole module is there on disaster recovery. So I just told you what is disaster recovery here. So the detail I'm going to discuss in that particular module. Okay. Now increase. So suppose like with AWS, you have enhanced disaster recovery. There are a few models they have created. Using those models, you can use the enhanced disaster recovery where you can recover from the disaster pretty much fast. Pretty much fast you can recover. Now increased compute capacity, definitely the compute capacity got increased because it is an on-demand computing. So they were able to take advantage of that, and with that they have a hell lot of computing available on AWS. You can use it according to their usage. So the resource optimization got like they got benefited under the resource optimization. After that, speed to market, they were able to bring their solutions very speedy to the market. That was one of the challenge. They were not able to bring their solutions rapidly. They were not able to deploy their solutions rapidly. But now, with the help of AWS, when they have moved to AWS, they were able to, like speed to market. They were able to, like they were able to, deploy the solutions on their servers in a very speedy way, so that all the customers will get all the new features with very like within very less time. So one day to provision new business, definitely within one day you can create the whole infra. So of course, if there is any requirement for any new feature, then people on like AWS engineers can can create the infra pretty like in a very speedy way, and you can deploy the solution quickly. Just a minute to push out a service. That is the beauty. It takes a very less time. Like a minute to create any service. So that's why they were able to bring new features to the users, to the market. Okay, and finally the operational efficiency, continuous cost optimization reduction. Definitely their team which were operating, which were like opting their application, supporting their application, they were able to see multiple cost cutting features where they can like optimize the cost of their infra. They can reduce the cost of the infra, and definitely these all were the business goals. And finally this delta north, Delaware north got a very good business growth when it comes to their applications. So these were all the benefits they have gotten when they have moved to AWS cloud. Okay, so I think some question is there. Okay. Yeah, money you can consider any disaster. Like for example, let me tell you one disaster was there in Ukraine. Ukraine, it was one of the disaster when one war was there between Ukraine and Russia. And if suppose your application was there and one data center was there in Ukraine, then that would be also impacted. Okay, because the whole country was impacting. You can consider it as a disaster. Okay. Any kind of a natural or man-made disaster it can be. Okay, guys, so let's move to section number 3 where we're going to discuss about AWS organizations. Let me tell you about AWS organizations. AWS organization is a service to manage multiple AWS accounts. Okay, so first let me take an example, and then we're going to, check out this, this service in detail. So suppose currently we are 50 here on this platform. So suppose you guys are working in my organization. Suppose like you all are having a like 50 different accounts. You all work for one organization, and you all have different 50 accounts. So like if suppose I am the owner of a company, and I have to manage all the accounts, it will be very difficult for me to separately manage all 50 accounts. If suppose I have to do a payment, like a monthly payment of each account. Suppose you guys are having an individual account, you are working as a cloud engineer, somebody is working as a architect, somebody is working as a, like senior cloud engineer, etc., etc. So you are, like you are working for different clients inside my company, and you have created the infra. Each account is having multiple, each account is accumulating one bill. So if I want to, pay bill for all 50 accounts, then I have to check out each and every account first. That will be a lot of time consuming. I won't be able to manage these 50 accounts singly. I would be needing a team. Or if I'm managing it, I would be entirely working on this task only. So it is very difficult to manage multiple accounts inside a single organization. That's why to eliminate this problem or to solve this problem, AWS has created one service known as AWS Organization. So AWS Organization is a central platform from where you can manage multiple AWS accounts. Let's suppose you are having, you are working in an enterprise, which is having, more than 2 lakhs people or 1 lakh people working there. Global presence is there around, 2,200 countries or more, and multiple clients are there. Very, handy, revenue is there. That is enterprise. So suppose like in your enterprise, there are 200 AWS different accounts for clients. 200 different clients are there, and there are around for 200 different clients there are around 200 accounts are there. AWS 200 accounts are there. Now suppose if I'm if I'm from finance team, I want to pay the bill of each and every account. How I can do it? Like, do I have to check out each and every account? You have to check first account number one, account number two. It will take a lot of time. So to resolve this kind of issue, we have AWS organization which is going to centrally manage all those 200, 300, 400, 50, the number of accounts in your organization. So it is a central platform. So you have to, add these different accounts inside AWS organization. Once you will add those accounts, then AWS organization can see all those accounts. It will have the control to manage all the accounts, and with the help of that, you can manage multiple accounts in your organization. So that is a simple functionality of AWS organization. Let's check out this. Okay. Okay. So this is the service. What do you say? Logo organization. So as you can see, this the upper part is your organization, which is inside the organization you have connected multiple AWS accounts. So inside the organization, each AWS account which you are connecting is known as member account. Okay, member account. Suppose there are 100 AWS accounts which are connected to one AWS organization. So you can also consider it as a 100 member account of an AWS organization. Okay. So you got it. What is the AWS organization? It is a central platform to manage multiple AWS accounts inside a single organization. So now let's check out some terminology, and I will give you a high level overview how this works. So first of all, there will be one root account. What is the root account? Root account is an account from which you're going to create an AWS organization, because AWS organization is a service. So suppose I am the I am a CEO, like CTO of a company, and so I have created one, like from my root account I have created a AWS organization service. So my root account will be considered as an AWS organization account, and from there I have created I have created organization unit. What is this? This is the organization unit. So what organization unit means? I will come to this. Okay, I will give you an example. And so I've created organization units, and I have also attached multiple AWS accounts. Now, first of all, let me suppose let me tell you what is organization unit. So organization unit is I would say let's take an example of a IT company. So inside IT company, suppose there are three organizations units. The first one is the finance team. The second one is your technical team. The third one is your admin team. So you can consider this as an organization unit. A group. You can consider it as a group. Okay. Now inside the organization unit, I will attach AWS accounts. Suppose for finance team, they need 3 AWS accounts for working on their AWS billing services. For technical, they need 20 AWS accounts. For administration, they need 2 AWS accounts. So OU is a group, like a department. Like if you are working, like if you are in your college also, you have multiple departments. Like for your, like for your, like engineering, you have, computer science department is there, civil engineering department is there, and you have your, electronics and communication department. And inside department, you all are members. Suppose like inside the EC, like electronics and communication department, there are 400 students. So so those are all 400, members of that particular department. So that department you can consider as operational unit. And what are those 400 students? Those are all member accounts, like AWS accounts. I think now it is clear. So now look at this. Under the root, that is the root account where you have created the AWS organization. So either you can create organization unit, or you can directly attach AWS account as well. Now how these AWS accounts are attached, guys. So first of all, when I will be like, when I created a AWS organization, I will be sending a request. Suppose, you are 50 guys, okay, who are working in my company. I'm the CTO, and I want to add all your accounts to my organization. So I'm going to, send out, like from this, organizational AWS organizational dashboard, I'm going to add your member accounts. Once I will click on add a member account, I'm going to select your account, and automatically one email will be triggered to your email IDs, to your registered email IDs of the AWS account. And from there, you have to accept my invitation. If you are going to accept my invitation, you will be part of that organization. Your account will be added to the organization. If you will decline the invitation, then the account won't be added. So it is a subscription based process, I would say. So you have to, you have to accept the invitation which I've sent it from the organization point of view. Once you will accept, you will be part of the AWS account. So enter the organization. You can create the organization, like under your AWS organization, you can create organization units. You can also directly create AWS account. So look at this diagram. Inside this root organizational account, we have created 2 organization unit. Under the organization unit, we have an AWS account attached, and we have also one sub organizational unit inside our organization unit. So you can have nested. This is a nested, guys. This is a nested organization unit. You can have up to 5 nested organization unit. So let me give you one more example. Suppose in your college, your college is having organization units like multiple department, like MBA, engineering. Inside MBA, you have 3-4 nested OU. That finance department is different, strategy department is different. Inside inside engineering, you have multiple branches. Those are the sub organizational units. That means the nested organization unit inside a particular organization unit is known as nested organizational unit. So this is a structure. So either you can directly attach a AWS account to the root user, or you can create an organization unit. You can put them under then you can add the AWS account inside the organizational unit. You can also add one more, nested organization unit inside the organization unit, and you can add more accounts. So based on your architecture, based on your business architecture, based on your company architecture, you will create the organization. So these are mainly created by the very higher people, maybe CTO kind of a people, because they will only have the root access. Now now there is one more term known as policy. Policies are SCP, service control policies. These are all central policies which are applied to organizational unit or an individual AWS account. So these service control policies are used to control your account. When I'm telling you that I am managing an account from central level, then definitely I will have some power. With that power only I can manage. Correct? So I have the power I will get the power with the help of these policies. So with the help of the policy, I'm going to define some rules. So let me take an example. Suppose, let's go back to the same example. There was one company which was having 3 departments. First one was finance. So for this finance operational unit, we have 3 AWS accounts, member accounts attached. So suppose, since I am the root user, I've written one policy that only the billing the services related to the AWS billing will be granted to this organization unit. So all the accounts or that particular finance organization unit will be able to access the service related to the AWS billing. So I have just granted them that kind of a access only, that they can only check out or touch the services which are related to AWS billing. So whenever I am providing a particular policy to a particular organization unit, then automatically all the member accounts or all the member accounts of that particular OU is going to inherit the policy, inherit the that permission. So for example, inside that for that finance OU, I have written one policy where they can only access AWS billing services. Now three accounts were there which were attached to OU. So automatically all three AWS accounts, which are the part of that finance OU, will also inherit that policy. You don't have to attach to them separately. Same way, now let's go to another department, like technical department. Inside technical department, I have written, I have written one policy where I'm granting them access for EC2, S3, VPC, multiple services. For with the help of it, they can create the infrastructure for the clients. So that policy I'm implying to OU, that technical department OU. Now there were 20 accounts which were the part of technical OU. So all those 20 accounts will automatically inherit that particular policy or permissions which I have applied on the OU level. Okay. So now look at this. Suppose this on the left side you have an OU. If suppose you are assigning some policy here, then automatically this AWS account and this nested OU and all the account will have that kind of a policy already all automatically inherited. Okay. And one more thing you can do, if suppose you can also directly assign some policy to the AWS account as well. If suppose you are creating one AWS account that is directly connected to root, and if you want to apply a policy, you can apply it to that particular single AWS account as well. So now here on this particular this slide, you like now you should understand, you should be able to understand what is organization, what is root account, what is organization unit, what are AWS account, the member account, and what is policy. Because using this, there will be one organization which will be created, and these are all the components of those AWS organization. Let me take few questions, guys. Can we create our under policy? Yeah, you can create your own policy. You can create your own policies money. AWS has already provided some policies that you can use, or you can create your own custom policies also. Okay. Okay. So this is now you got all the what are the different terminologies: policy, OU, AWS accounts. Now let me just tell you how what are the key features and benefits of using AWS organization. So first of all, policy based account management. Yes, root will have all the access rights. That's why I told you only a person who will be on a very higher post like CTO is going to create the organization, or a director of a particular business unit is going to create a organization, because you can't provide a root access to each and everyone, otherwise they're going to do a lot of manipulations. Okay. In IT, we follow the rule of giving least privileges to the user. Suppose, Kanan, you are working in some company and you are working as an, server administrator. Then if I am your manager, I'm going to provide you only the access for those AWS services which are related to your job profile. No extra, that privilege. That's why we follow the principle of least privilege in IT industry. Okay. Yeah. Yes, you can create different. That's why you can create that. So what will happen if you will create different OU? Then multiple policy will apply to those accounts. If suppose you have created, for one OU, if suppose there were two nested OU, so we have created one policy for that this OU, then it will be applied to the nested OU and all the accounts. If suppose for this nested OU you have added one more policy, then it will be added only to those. It will be applied to that OU and all the service accounts which are the part of that particular OU. Okay, you can you can attach multiple policies as well. Okay, guys. So let's check out the key features now. Policy-based account management. Yes, we know we are going to create a service, control policies. With that pocket, you're going to manage the account. Group-based account management, definitely we are going to create a OU. Inside OU, you can group multiple accounts. You can group multiple AWS accounts. That's why it is known as it can be used as a group-based account management. Application programming interface that automates account management. Definitely, since this is a very central process, okay, and you will be dealing with multiple accounts. So this is mainly for this developer parts. So AWS has published the APIs. They have also published the APIs which programmers can like they can use it in their code so that they can control it from there only. Suppose if they want to create a new account inside the organization, they can use with the help of command only through API. They don't have to log in. They have to do the manual process. So it is a very fast way using through the code. So that's why they have already published some APIs using the API to create the account, to delete the account, to provide some permission like that. They have multiple APIs which they have exposed. You can use it in your program to have a faster way to using this AWS organization. Finally, consolidated billing. This is the best feature, guys. Consolidated billing. The same thing which I was telling you. Suppose we were having 50 accounts. You guys were the part of my organization. Now suppose at the end of the month, I want to pay a single bill. I don't want to waste my time to log into each one of your account and check out what is the bill. No, I don't want to do that. Since you all are the part of my organization, I can see account details of each and every organization in my, like, I can see the account details of each and every AWS account which is the part of AWS organization. So I will get a bill. Okay, I can see the separate bills and I can also pay a single bill. I will get a consolidated bill inside the organization. So, what are the benefits also? Suppose, I was talking about, if you remember, yesterday, on Friday, I told you one thing about volume pricing. When you're using, like services in a high volume, you can expect some discount from AWS. So, suppose when you will get a huge bill, because inside this 50 account, you will be using multiple services for the client, for creating the infra, for creating multiple automation tasks. So the 50 account billing will be seen inside a single AWS organization bill. So you can ask AWS that I'm using your services for so much higher volume, and so please provide me some volume discount also. So from here you can also expect some volume discount. So based on your contract, you can get 5%, 10%, whatever they're going to provide you. So you can see consolidated billing also, and based on that you can also get the volume discount as well. So these are the key features and benefits of using AWS organization. Okay, now let's see what is the security with AWS organization. So security is considered, or it is achieved with the help of the SCPs, the service control policies. So let's see, like here they are telling that the SCPs works really well with IAM. So IAM is an identity and access management, service which controls the user access inside a particular AWS account. Okay, which is a more granular access. So, like these SCPs are more or same like IAM policies. So you can create these SCP policies, and let's check out, okay, what they're saying here. So the service control policies enables you to allow or deny access to AWS services for individual or group accounts in an organizational unit. Same thing I told you in the diagram. What we have seen, these policies are applied on like group of accounts, also on single accounts. So this works on account level. This works on the account level. SCP, service control policies, works on account level. You can put it on multiple accounts. When you are, if suppose you want to put it on multiple accounts, that means you can put it on your organization unit. Then all the accounts which is a part of that particular organization unit is going to inherit that particular permissions or policies. You're writing the permissions inside these policies. Same way, if you want to put it on an account itself, you can put it actually on the account also, which is a part of AWS organization. So that's why STP works on account level. Now IAM. Let's go to the IAM part. Control access with AWS IAM and access management. IAM policies enable you to allow or deny access to AWS service for user group and role. Actually, on the account level, how you can secure your AWS accounts? Using SCP. Inside the AWS account, you can use IAM. We are going to learn. For now, what is the difference between SCP and IAM? I'm just going to tell you. SCPs, we are putting the permissions at account level. Now, inside the account level, you will be creating multiple AWS users. Different things are there in IAM. I'm going to tell you afterwards. So IAM policies works at user level or number of group of users level inside the account. And on the top of the account, what will be applied? You will apply a SAP. That's why you will get a more security because your whole account is secure using the SAP, and inside the account, your everything will be secure with the help of IAM policies. You got it now? There is a single difference because SCPs are also written in a same way how IAM is written. Everything is common. Only difference is that SCPs are applied on the account level and IAM policies are applied at the user or group of users level inside the AWS account. Okay. So let me tell you how you have to set up the organizational AWS organization. So there are a few high level steps I'm going to tell you. First of all, you have to from one account that will be a root account. You have to create one AWS organization service. Once you will create the AWS organization service, then you can create organization units. Inside that, you will get one option to create organization units, and you can create organization unit. And parallelly, you can also send an invitation to all the members whom you want to add inside this organization. Suppose I want to add you all inside my organization, so I'm going to send out an invitation to each and every one of you, and then you can either you can accept the invitation or you can deny an invitation. Okay, after that, once you have created the OU and you have added all the members, the third step is to create service control policies. So these will be the permissions. Once I will create the permissions in the term of service control policy, I'm going to implement to each organization units based on the requirement to to individual AWS account, member accounts, or to organization units. And finally, I'm going to test the restriction. What do you mean by testing restriction? Suppose like inside one, suppose like let me give you take the same example of IT industry. Suppose some company is there. Inside the company, we have three departments: finance OU, technical OU, and administration OU. So I've written three different policies. One was attached to finance OU so that they can only access the AWS billing services. Second OU, the people they can only access the services which are mentioned as a part of their policy. Same goes for administrator. Some set of services were there. These are the part of administrator. I have put it under the policy and I have added under the policy, and that policy attached to the admin OU. So now when you are testing the restriction, that means the people who are working in the finance department, they cannot access the services which are apart from like AWS billing services. Only they can access tier 4 services which are provided under the permissions. Same way, the people who are working in the technical OU, they cannot access AWS billing services. They can only access the services which are a part of their policy. So that's how you can test the restriction as well. Sir, as we are solution architect, whether we need to create the organization setup? No, not. You should understand. Okay, now it is not required now. Experienced people, okay, the people who are having experience should create these setups. But you should know. That is required. Okay, now you understood what are the high level steps. First one, you have to create the organization. Second, create OU and add the member accounts by sending them the invitations. Third, create service control policy, attach the policy to OU and individual account, and finally test the setup. Okay, these are the high level steps, guys. Now some limitations are there with AWS organization. Let's check out. First limitation is there. Name must not exceed 250 characters in length. So suppose I am writing my name Bhaskar Rajput. So each is having a character length. So that's why when you are providing the name of an organizational AWS organization, the name should not exceed 250 characters. Name must be composed of Unicode character. I don't think this is a limitation. Unicode character is it is a way to represent, to create a name. I think you would have learned about ASCII characters, guys, in your in your schools. That is the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. How the information is getting interchanged between the machine using the ASCII code. So these supports multiple numerologies, the multiple characters. So this is not a limitation. The limitation is that the 250 characters. Okay, so Unicode is our name must be unique or root. You will be creating one organization unit. You can put any name, guys. You can There will be some name. Root is your account. Root is your account. You can put some meaningful name of your company. You can put some meaningful name. That is not a bigger challenge. Okay. Now let's check out some maximum minimum values. Number of AWS accounts. Okay, so an invitation sent to accounts counts against this limit. So you can send it to multiple accounts. Number of roots, there will be one single root account. Only there will be one single root account who can manage the AWS organization. And then number of organization unit, you can create up to 1,000 organization units, which is very, very huge. Number of policies, you can attach 1,000 policies. Maximum size of a service control policy document. You are going to write a policy document. So, once you will write any document, that will be of some size. So it is telling 5,120 byte is the size of a single policy document. Invitation sent per day 20. So invitation what? The invitation which is sent from AWS organization to members account. Number of members accounts you can create concurrently, only 5 can be in progress at time. So at a time you can create 5 parallel AWS accounts inside using AWS organization. Suppose you got a request that you want to create more accounts. So you can using that API or manual, you can create account using your AWS organization as well. Number of entities to which you can attach a policy unlimited. You can attach a policy to unlimited account. These are some limits, but these are not hard limits, guys. These are the soft limits. Now I will tell you what is the difference between hard limit and soft limit. Hard limit is a limit which is a threshold, which cannot be changed. There are soft limits which can be altered, which can be changed. Suppose tomorrow you got a very, very big organization where you need to send an invitation to member accounts, like 50 invitations per day. You can tell AWS you are going to increase the quota. Because that is a soft limit. They can increase the quota. But if suppose there is something like a hard limit, then they will tell you this is a threshold. We can't maximize the threshold. Okay, you understood the difference between the hard limit and soft limit? Hard limit can't be changed. Soft limit can be changed, can be altered. Okay, so AWS, how you can access AWS organization? First of all, through management console. From management console, you can search for AWS, this AWS organization, and you can access the service. Second, through CLI also, I told you CLI, SDK are equivalently powerful as management console. So whatever you can access through management console, you can access through CLI, that is command line interface, and through software development kit as well. Apart from that, HTTPS query application programming interface. This is the additional part, guys. I told you about this. The API, they have exposed some APIs which can be used as a which can be used under your developers can use it, and they can use it for accessing this. Okay, so they can access through program. So we have some APIs to create the account, to delete the account, like that, so that you can use it. Okay. Why I'm getting this message? Okay, I got one. Okay. We need to brief instructions. We can. Yes. Okay, guys. So I think the canvas access has been provided to you. I just got a message now that one canvas access has been provided to you, everyone. So in last 5 minutes, I'm going to hand it over to Sunil. After 2 or 3 minutes, he is going to explain you about that thing. Okay, I've already showed you the canvas, but listen it from him also. Okay, about this. So let's discuss few more things, and then I'm going to hand it over to Sunil. Okay. Okay. So now you understand how you can access your AWS organization from multiple ways. Okay, now let's move to section number 4, that is AWS billing and cost management. So this will be all about AWS billing and cost management. So what how what are different kind of services which are a part of AWS billing and cost management. So we are going to check out that. So this is how the billing dashboard looks. This is an example of billing dashboard. So whenever you're going to use your account and you incur some charges, you're going to see a screen like this. So look at it. This is some billing of October 2017. This is for October 2017. So whenever you will see your billing dashboard, so first check out the left hand side. Your billing will be with the help of these bars. So these are all dollars. The amount will be in dollars. Suppose it is going to show you the current bill is going to show you three things. The first one, it is going to show you the last month bill, so that you can compare whether you have invested more, whether you have done more expenditure or not. Second, it is going to show you month to date bill. That means, suppose currently today is 20th October of 2017. So this is the bill of 20th October. Till today, I have consumed a services of dollar 7,453. And now, and the third one is forecast. That based on the today's usage, based on the current pattern of usage, I am going to get a bill of around $7,974 at the end of October month. Okay, you understand all these things. First one will be your last month bill detail, it will be showing so that you can compare it with the current month. Second, it is going to show you the month to date bill, where it is going to tell you till now in this current month how much you have done the expenditure from the CWS account. And finally, based on the current usage pattern, it is going to forecast. It's going to forecast how much you're going to spend. Forecast can be changed. Suppose today you are using 10 servers, and now after 20th October, you have terminated 5 servers. So this forecast will change. It will automatically reduce the final amount. This is just a forecast. Like, we have a weather forecast. After 2 days, there can be a rain. After 1 week, we can have the possibility of a sunny day, like that. The forecasting. Now the second part, if you will see of the bill, will be your month to date spend by service. So whatever services you have used to create the infrastructure, so you will have bill per service. Suppose this is a pie chart. So each color represents individual service. Suppose this is EC2, which is a blue color. So here you have spent $3,700. For RDS, that is your database, you have spent $1,876. Like that, you will have the details about service price. So you will come to know which service has consumed more in that particular month. This is how. So we are going to have a demo. We have a recorded demo. I'm going to play it tomorrow, guys, because today I think the time is already up. So tomorrow I'm going to show a demo where where we will see how all these services works out. This is an example of AWS billing dashboard. How it looks. What all are the features of this billing dashboard? So there are a few tools related to this, like AWS billing. There are three major tools. One is AWS budget. The second one is AWS cost and usage report. And the third one is AWS cost explorer. All these tools we are going to explore tomorrow. So now I'm going to hand it over to Sunil, and Sunil is going to tell you some details about Canvas. And meanwhile, if you have any question, you can drop it under the chat and drop it under the question area, and I'm going to answer that. Okay, so you can take this. Take out. You can take over.
Am I audible, Bhaskar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good evening, all. I hope you have received an email from this Canvas portal. If I'm not wrong, so please check your email IDs which are given for the course registration email IDs. Bhaskar, can you open this Canvas? Yeah. So first you go to accounts, Bhaskar. We'll be just informing that go to dashboard, the main console, accounts. Yes. Account. You can log out also and log in. So you just give them, they'll be having the two access. One is student login and another one is educator.
So here, you can use it.
Yes, you need to go for the main log out once again from your account. So you will be getting that invite from the AWS notifications. So please check there, and there the instructions also be there, and you will be having that direct link. So there you need to create the account first. So using your registered email ID, and you need to set the password. If you are a first time user, you need to set the password. Then here in the first you need to select the student login. Don't go with educator. Kindly navigate to the student login. So once you click the student login, then you will be coming to the console. Once again, please select the student login. Yes. So once you create only, you will be able to set here login with the student access. So here you will be getting to just go to that modular dashboard. So there your course will be available. So currently we have given the foundations. So foundation is going on, training is going on. So you will be having the foundation access. Once you finish the foundations, from the same account we will be adding the architecting also. So if you are logged into this one, so in Bhaskar account you might be notifying these two courses. It is already having, but for you people it will be showing for only AWS Cloud Foundations. Nothing to worry. After completing the foundations, we will be adding your architecting for the same account. I hope this clear till now. Next, once you click that foundations, so you just go to the modulars. So there only you will be able to find. Yes, please. My voice is audible.
What time zone what I need to give, sir? It is showing Mumbai, Chennai,
Kolkata only we have given.
but it's showing
That
Mumbai,
is only
Kolkata,
default
Chennai.
we can give.
Okay, so I have given Kolkata.
Yes. So here in modulars, I think you are able to see the all the digital videos, and you will be having that the material student guide. What trainer will be projecting here, you will be having the same here as a
You
student guide.
started from the starting,
And
sir.
sorry.
Could you start it from the starting?
Yes, yes. Here in the beginning only. Once what we have the once you have created the you have might have received an invite from there. Click that, create the account. Next, you will be coming to this dashboard. Once you create the password, setting the password also. From there, you will be coming to the dashboard in the course. Then you will be selecting the modulars. Third option, modulars. Okay. So from there, you will be having that all the modulars.
It is
Password you need
asking
to create it. You need to create.
before registering only. It is asking. Okay, like we need to give a fresh password. You're saying.
Yes, yes. No one. It is not set for any account. You have to create the password. You need to set the new password for the account. If already you are using the Canvas portal, then it course will be adding directly to your account. New user has to create the password, create the account itself. That is the one. Okay, in the modulars, you will be going to the all the digital videos, and then you will be having that wrap up that is student guide. And next is a knowledge check. Make sure you will be completing all the knowledge checks once the modulars are completed. Okay. And next, from modular 4, you will be having the labs. Till modular 3, you have the digital sessions, student guide, and the knowledge check. And modular 4, from there, you will be having the labs. So Bhaskar will be explaining how to start the lab modulars, everything once you come to the modulars. Okay. Other than all the things will be digital sessions, student guide, and knowledge checks. All it will be there for all the modulars. Your labs will be starting from the modular 4. Okay, make sure using this portal for using other time when you are free, so you can spend more time and you can more gain more long knowledge in this okay platform. And one thing I need to mention here, your Canvas portal will be having the access 2.5 months from today. Okay, I'm repeating, it will be accessing till 2.5 months from today. So please plan accordingly and use this materials sufficiently and get the benefits. So if you are using this any labs or if you are practicing the labs in your own console, it will be charged. If you are already tired, you will be having aware of already. So you can plan all, you can use these materials and you can learn these things and experience through labs and whatever the things you can do it here, and it will be the free of cost. It is won't be charged anything, okay? And make sure while doing the labs you will be having some conditions. So like if they are given the some default regions, specific regions, don't change the regions, okay? Other than things you can use this materials, nothing to worry. And n number of times you can practice here the labs. So you have to be careful. Once you start the end, after ending the labs only you can do it. So all the instructions are mentioned in the labs manuals. So Bhaskar will be taking that more information once you start in that labs. So other things, so Bhaskar, you can show that sandbox. So that is similar to as your AWS console. See, all the modulars labs are instructed, and you will be going under the instructions. If you want to do something extra, like you're free of the console, there is no terms and conditions to execute the labs. So you can go to the sandbox environment. It is similar to as your AWS service. You can launch any services here, and you can use same as your AWS console. I hope it is clear. This infrastructure, this console is very user friendly, and you need to read the instructions and you need to go with the steps. So then you will be able to understand how what is the thing, how it is happening, all this thing. Okay. So other materials will be that lab guides will be having in the lab portal. So that will be given access already. So today we have given this Canvas portal. I'm pointing out it is a 2.5 month. So after that, you will not be getting that all the features which you are going to utilize. So in the time period only, you need to get the benefits. So also you will be getting the badge, the digital badge once you completed all the modulars. Finally, I think in the last, you will be having the badge after completing all the digital sessions and the knowledge check and the labs. You will be having the badge over here. So you will be able to eligible once you complete all the things. You can show it, Bhaskar, in the last. There is having the badge over there. Once you complete all the modules, then only you are able to download your badge and the completion certificate. So that is the one after completing all the modules, labs, and knowledge checks. So you'll be able to download the badge directly over here. So that is a unique one. You can post in your LinkedIn. So because that will get to know that someone people who will be going through your profile, like they have the some basic knowledge in the AWS and practical knowledge also. I hope it is clear this environment. So get the benefits over here and use from the day one. That's one I will be mentioning everywhere in the session. So finally, then if you're going to lost, you'll not be able to access these materials.
Sunil, there are a few questions regarding this canvas. Can you take those?
Oh, 1 second.
Somebody is getting some gateway error while accessing this account. Some have not received the email. So just please try to answer those.
So I will be dropping my email ID here. So if anyone have not received an access, so please drop me email with your course registered email only. It will be useful for me to cross check. I hope you received my email ID sunil.y@ethnus.com. Please drop if you are not received an Canvas access or invite. Okay, I will just cross check and I will get back to you people. So it won't be any charges if you are doing the everything in the under limit and instructions and step by step, it won't be charges. So if you are like changing the regions, whatever the terms they mentioned, if you are violating that, so now it will be directly your canvas access will be blocked. It will be suspended from the AWS itself. Like AWS price calculator that we have, you can directly get it in the AWS like in direct console only.
Sunil, you done with this?
Yes, yes. Any other questions, students? Fine, then we'll be winding this today. So if any queries, please drop me so I can help you over there. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks, Bhaskar.
Thank you, Sunil, and thank you, everyone. So I'm going to wind up this session now. So let's meet tomorrow, and please revise the concept and get your. If you have any query about Canvas, please drop an email to Sunil. He's going to help you to get your Canvas account set up. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night. Take care. Bye bye.